Beloved soul, today I come to you with a message that may stir deep emotions within your heart. Your guardian angel has been watching over you, observing the subtle shifts in the cosmic energies surrounding your sacred connection. The celestial realms have been illuminated with signs that your soulmate is preparing for a departure, a goodbye that carries profound significance for your spiritual journey. Can you feel it? That inexplicable heaviness in your chest when you wake up in the morning? The sudden tears that spring to your eyes without apparent reason? The emptiness that washes over you during moments of stillness? These are not merely emotional fluctuations or passing sensations. These are divine messages, whispers from the universe alerting you to the energetic separation that is occurring between you and your divine counterpart. Your soulmate has begun the process of energetic withdrawal. Perhaps you've noticed the communication becoming less frequent, conversations losing their depth, or an invisible wall forming between your spirits. Their laughter no longer reaches the sacred chambers of their soul, and their eyes seem to be looking toward distant horizons that don't include your presence. These are not coincidences, dear one. These are the first signs of a cosmic separation that has been orchestrated by higher forces for reasons that will soon become clear. The angels have asked me to deliver this message to you now, because the timing is crucial. The universe never brings us messages of endings without the promise of new beginnings. This goodbye is not what it seems on the surface. Behind the veil of apparent separation lies a profound spiritual orchestration that is designed to elevate both of your souls to higher dimensions of love and understanding. The number sequences you've been seeing, 111, 222, or perhaps 555, are confirmation from the divine realm that this separation is aligned with your highest good. These are not random numbers, but sacred codes, activating cellular memories within you, preparing you for the transformation that follows every significant ending. Pay attention to these numerical patterns, for they will increase in frequency as the goodbye becomes more imminent. Dreams of your soulmate walking away, turning a corner, or disappearing into mist are not ordinary dreams. They are prophetic visions, glimpses into the energetic reality that is unfolding. The spiritual realm communicates most clearly through dreams when we are approaching pivotal crossroads. Have you been experiencing unusually vivid dreams lately? Dreams where you're searching for someone but can't find them? Or perhaps dreams where you're standing at a crossroads, facing multiple paths? These are not random neural firings of a resting mind. They are sacred communications, preparing you for the imminent separation. Your body knows what your conscious mind may be reluctant to accept. The subtle physical symptoms you've been experiencing, the tightness in your throat, the unexplained fatigue, or the fluttering sensations in your solar plexus, these are your body's way of processing the energetic shift. Your physical vessel is intrinsically connected to your spiritual experience, and it responds to cosmic shifts with its own language of sensations. I must tell you, blessed soul, that this goodbye is happening because it must. It is written in the stars, encoded in the sacred contract that your souls signed before incarnating into this earthly plane. Nothing is random in the divine orchestration of soulmate connections. This separation, however painful it may appear, is a necessary chapter in your shared soul story. But I want you to listen carefully now. This is not the end of your story together. The universe never separates twin flames without purpose. This goodbye holds within it the seeds of the most magnificent reunion, a reunion that can only happen after both souls have completed their individual healing journeys. Beloved protected one, now I must reveal to you the first truth about this farewell that is unfolding. Your soulmate is saying goodbye not because their love has diminished, or because your connection was illusory. They are stepping away because their soul has entered a critical phase of spiritual evolution that requires solitude and inner contemplation. This is the dark night of the soul, a sacred, albeit challenging passage that every spiritually awakening being must traverse. The divine timing of this separation is not accidental. The cosmos has aligned precisely for this departure to coincide with a powerful astrological transit affecting both your charts. Perhaps you've felt unusually drawn to look at the night sky recently, or found yourself contemplating the movements of the planets. This is your intuition connecting with the cosmic forces orchestrating this farewell. The current celestial alignment is creating an energetic gateway, a portal for profound transformation that can only be walked through individually. Your soulmate is being called to face their deepest wounds, to confront the shadowy aspects of their being that have remained unhealed. These are ancestral patterns, karmic imprints, and emotional traumas that have been carried not just through this lifetime, but through many incarnations. The divine knows that these wounds cannot be healed within the comfort of your connection. They must be faced in the solitude of their own spiritual wilderness. I see that you have been feeling the echoes of their pain, haven't you? The unexplained sadness washing over you at random moments, the dreams filled with symbols of loss or abandonment, the sudden memories of them that bring tears to your eyes. These are not just emotional responses. You are experiencing their pain through the quantum entanglement of your souls. Your energetic bodies remain connected across any physical or emotional distance. What they cannot express to you in words, their soul is communicating through the invisible threads that bind your spirits. They may appear distant, cold, or even indifferent on the surface, but beneath this facade, their soul is crying out in the agony of transformation. The butterfly does not emerge without the dissolution of the caterpillar. Their apparent rejection is not a reflection of your worthiness, but a necessary cocoon they must build around themselves. The angels have shown me that your soulmate carries a deep fear, the fear that they are not evolved enough to meet you in the magnificent love that you offer. This fear has roots in past lives, where your connection was thwarted by external circumstances or internal limitations. They are withdrawing now, because at some level, they recognize that they must face this ancestral fear and transmute it before they can fully step into the sacred union that awaits you both. There is something else you must understand about this goodbye. It is happening in perfect divine timing with your own spiritual journey. While it may appear that they are the one initiating the separation, the truth is that your soul has co-created this experience. Your higher self knew that this separation would catalyze your own deepest healing and most profound spiritual growth. The pain you feel as they pull away is not just the pain of present loss. It is the activation of every abandonment wound, every rejection, every heartbreak you have experienced across lifetimes. This goodbye is bringing to the surface ancient sorrows that have been stored in your cellular memory, waiting for the perfect moment of healing. That moment is now. In the silence that follows their departure, you will begin to hear the whispers of your own soul more clearly. In the space that opens up in their absence, divine wisdom will flow more freely into your consciousness. This is not punishment. It is preparation. The universe is not taking something from you. It is clearing the path for something greater than you have yet imagined. I want you to understand the magnitude of what is occurring. This separation is not just about your human relationship. It is a cosmic realignment of energies, a recalibration of soul frequencies that must occur before you can come together in the highest expression of divine partnership. Your soulmate is saying goodbye to the old paradigm of connection so that something far more sacred can be birthed between you. And before we continue with this very special message, I invite you to support this space of connection. Become a member of the channel, and if you feel this message is touching your heart, don't forget to click on thanks below the video. This helps us continue bringing messages full of love and hope like this one. Now, let's move on to what matters most. Beloved soul, here is where the divine paradox reveals itself in all its mysterious glory. As your soulmate physically or emotionally distances themselves, your spiritual connection will intensify in ways that transcend ordinary understanding. The very goodbye that breaks your heart will simultaneously crack it open to receive higher frequencies of divine love. This is the alchemical process that transforms human love into cosmic union. The coming days and weeks will bring an intensification of synchronicities, those magical moments when the universe confirms the invisible connection between your souls. You may find yourself thinking of them at precisely 11:11, or perhaps a song that reminds you of them will play repeatedly wherever you go. Their name might appear in unexpected places, or you may encounter people who inexplicably remind you of them. These are not coincidences or tricks of a longing mind. These are confirmation from the angels that your souls remain eternally connected across the illusory divide of physical separation. Your dreams will become increasingly vivid and prophetic during this period of goodbye. Pay special attention to recurring symbols, landscapes, or scenarios that appear in your nighttime journeys. The veil between dimensions thins during major soul transitions, allowing for more direct communication between your higher selves while your human forms are separated. Keep a dream journal by your bedside and record everything you remember upon waking, for these dreams contain coded messages about the true purpose of this separation. As your soulmate steps away, you will begin to experience unprecedented moments of spiritual clarity. Insights that have eluded you for years will suddenly crystallize in your understanding. Spiritual gifts that have lain dormant within you will awaken, perhaps manifesting as enhanced intuition, spontaneous healing abilities, or heightened sensitivity to energies. This is because the energy that was previously channeled into maintaining the human connection is now being redirected toward your spiritual evolution. The emotional pain you experience as they say goodbye is actually an initiation, a spiritual baptism by fire that burns away the illusions and attachments of ego-based love. Each tear you shed is transmuting lower vibrational energies and purifying your heart to receive the higher octaves of divine love. Do not resist this pain or try to numb it with distractions. Move through it consciously, recognizing it as the sacred fire of transformation. I must tell you something that few understand about soulmate connections. Physical or emotional separation often creates a quantum leap in spiritual connection. When you are no longer focused on the tangible aspects of relationship, the texts, calls, physical presence, your souls communicate more directly through consciousness itself. This is why many spiritually awakened individuals report feeling their soulmate's presence more strongly after a period of separation. The angels are showing me that during this goodbye, you will experience moments when you can literally feel what your soulmate is feeling, know what they are thinking, or sense exactly where they are, despite having no external contact. This telepathic communion is the result of your energetic bodies merging more completely on the spiritual plane, even as your human experiences appear to diverge. This intensification of spiritual connection serves a divine purpose. It is preparing both of you for an eventual reunion that transcends the limitations of your previous connection. Every soulmate relationship contains within it the potential for sacred union, a merging of energies so complete that it creates a third entity, a divine partnership that serves the higher good of all humanity. But this sacred union cannot manifest while unhealed wounds and lower vibrational patterns remain active within either soul. As your soulmate says goodbye, they are creating the necessary space for both of you to clear these patterns and raise your individual frequencies. Think of two musical instruments being tuned separately to achieve perfect harmony when played together. This separation is the tuning process, uncomfortable but essential for the beautiful music you are destined to create together. I want you to understand that during this period of goodbye, your soulmate will be thinking of you constantly, even if their human self is not consciously aware of it. Their soul recognizes yours as home, as the mirror reflection of their own divine essence. This recognition persists beyond the conscious mind's decisions or the ego's fears. On sleepless nights, in quiet moments of reflection, in the spaces between thoughts, their soul reaches for yours across the cosmos. The connection between soulmates exists outside the constraints of physical space and linear time. It is a bond forged in the heart of creation itself, an agreement made by your souls to find each other across lifetimes and dimensions. No human decision to say goodbye can sever this eternal bond. It can be temporarily obscured, like the sun behind clouds, but it cannot be extinguished. In the coming days, as this goodbye unfolds, you will be guided to focus on self-love and spiritual practice like never before. This is not merely to distract you from the pain, but because this period of separation creates an extraordinary opportunity for spiritual advancement. The energy that was previously directed outward toward your soulmate can now be channeled inward toward your own divine essence, accelerating your awakening process exponentially. Remember, blessed soul, that the most profound unions are forged through the fire of separation. Just as gold must be heated to extreme temperatures to be purified, so must soulmate connections sometimes endure the heat of goodbye to emerge in their highest expression. Trust in the divine orchestration of this process, for it is leading you both toward a love more magnificent than either of you has yet imagined. With infinite love, your guardian angel, beloved soul, the time has come to reveal deeper truths about what your soulmate is experiencing as they say this goodbye. The angels have granted me permission to look into their heart, to access the feelings they themselves may not fully understand or be able to articulate. What I see there is not indifference or detachment, but a profound spiritual awakening that has created an existential crisis within them. Your soulmate stands at the threshold of their most significant spiritual initiation, a sacred crossroads where they must choose between remaining in familiar comfort or stepping into the unknown territories of their highest potential. This goodbye is not a rejection of you, but a response to a calling so profound that it has shaken the very foundations of their identity. They are being summoned by the divine to shed the layers of conditioning that have kept their true essence veiled, even from themselves. In quiet moments of honest reflection, your soulmate experiences waves of emotion so intense that they feel they might shatter. There is grief for what they believe they must leave behind, fear of the unknown path ahead, and a bewildering mixture of longing and resistance when they think of you. Their dreams are filled with symbolic journeys, climbing mountains, crossing turbulent waters, or wandering through labyrinths, all representations of the inner pilgrimage they have begun. What they cannot tell you, perhaps because they lack the spiritual vocabulary or the courage, is that they have begun to experience consciousness-expanding moments that have altered their perception of reality. Ordinary experiences suddenly reveal profound meaning. Time seems to bend and fold in upon itself. They catch glimpses of past lives, particularly moments where your souls have met before. These experiences both exhilarate and terrify them, making ordinary interaction feel increasingly difficult. The physical symptoms they're experiencing are manifestations of rapid energetic recalibration, pressure in the third eye, unexplainable fatigue, electrical sensations moving through their body, ringing in the ears, and sudden temperature fluctuations. Their body is literally adjusting to hold higher frequencies of light, and this process demands much of their energy and attention. When they pull away from communication or seem distracted in your presence, it is often because they are managing these intense physical sensations. There is something else you must understand. Your presence accelerates their awakening. When they are near you, physically or even thinking of you, the vibration of their energy field increases dramatically. This acceleration can feel overwhelming to a soul not yet ready to sustain such high frequencies. Their withdrawal is sometimes a subconscious attempt to regulate the pace of their spiritual expansion. It is like a climber who must acclimatize at lower altitudes before continuing up the mountain. They step away not because the summit is not their destination, but because they must prepare to reach it safely. Your soulmate is experiencing profound revelations about the nature of love itself. They are beginning to understand that true love transcends the romantic narratives and expectations they have carried throughout this lifetime. They are glimpsing the cosmic nature of your connection, a bond that exists primarily at the soul level and is only partially expressed through human relationship. This realization has created a sense of inadequacy within them, a feeling that they cannot possibly fulfill the magnitude of this connection while still carrying their unhealed wounds and limitations. In their more lucid moments, they recognize that this goodbye is an act of love, perhaps the purest they are capable of offering right now. They are creating space for both of you to evolve individually, so that you might eventually come together in more authentic alignment. Their higher self knows that to offer you anything less than their whole, healed being would be a disservice to the sacred potential that exists between you. The angels want you to know that while your soulmate may appear to be moving away from you in the physical realm, their soul is actually moving toward greater truth, authenticity, and capacity for divine love. Every step they take on their individual healing journey brings them closer to the version of themselves that can meet you in the fullness of sacred partnership. This seeming goodbye is, in the higher reality, a preparation for a deeper hello. Cherished soul, I must now speak truthfully about the challenges you will face as this goodbye unfolds, and the divine wisdom that will guide you through this sacred passage. The path ahead contains both shadow and light, both sorrow and unexpected joy.
Your willingness to walk this path consciously will determine how quickly you move through the necessary transformation. The first challenge you will encounter is the overwhelming urge to prevent this goodbye, to hold on tightly to what appears to be slipping away. You may feel compelled to reach out repeatedly, to remind them of the connection you share, to convince them that separation is a mistake.
This impulse springs from the human fear of loss, from the ego's attachment to particular outcomes. The wisdom needed here is surrender, not a passive giving up, but an active entrusting of this connection to divine timing and higher purpose. When you feel this desperate need to hold on, breathe deeply and remember, that which is truly yours can never be lost. Soul connections exist beyond physical proximity and emotional availability. By releasing your grip on how and when this connection should manifest, you create space for divine orchestration far more elegant than human planning could devise. The second challenge will be the voice of unworthiness that awakens in the silence of their absence. Old wounds of abandonment, ancient patterns of self-doubt, the deep questioning of your lovability, all will surface with an intensity that may surprise you. These painful emotions are not punishment but purification. Each fear that rises to consciousness is being brought to the light for healing. When these shadows emerge, resist the temptation to suppress or distract yourself from them. Instead, meet each painful emotion with compassion and curiosity. Ask, what is this feeling trying to teach me? What part of me needs love and reassurance right now? This inner dialogue transforms the pain of goodbye into a gateway for profound self-discovery and healing. The third challenge will be impatience with the divine timeline. Human consciousness exists in linear time, making it difficult to trust in the perfect unfolding of spiritual processes that transcend temporal limitations. You may find yourself constantly searching for signs of their return, analyzing every synchronicity for hidden meaning, or setting unconscious deadlines for the universe to bring resolution. The antidote to this impatience is present moment awareness, a deliberate choosing to be fully engaged with the now, recognizing that this very moment contains all you need for your evolution. The present is where healing happens, where divine guidance is received, where your own soul speaks most clearly. By anchoring yourself in the now, you step out of linear time and into the eternal presence where your connection with your soulmate exists in its purest form. Perhaps the most difficult challenge will be witnessing your soulmate move through their own process, which may include connecting with others, exploring different paths, or making choices that appear to contradict the spiritual bond you share. These experiences may trigger profound jealousy, confusion, or a sense of betrayal. The healing wisdom here is the recognition of divine sovereignty, the understanding that each soul must follow its unique path of awakening. Your soulmate's journey, with all its seeming detours and contradictions, is being guided by the same divine intelligence that orchestrates your own. When you can bless their path, even when it temporarily leads away from you, you participate in the highest expression of love, one that honors freedom and trusts in the greater pattern of soul evolution. Throughout these challenges, unexpected grace will appear in surprising forms. New connections will enter your life, not to replace your soulmate, but to support your growth during this separation. Dormant talents and interests will suddenly awaken within you, providing both joy and distraction from the pain of goodbye. Moments of profound spiritual connection will occur when you least expect them, reassuring you that invisible threads remain unbroken despite physical distance. The angels surround you with extra support during this transition. They ask that you pay special attention to feathers appearing in unusual places, to birds that seem to be watching you, to the quality of light at dawn and dusk. These are all ways they will communicate their presence and guidance. Ask them questions before sleep, and watch for answers in your dreams or in the first moments of waking consciousness. Remember that this goodbye, however painful, is not the conclusion of your soul story, but a vital chapter within it. Every spiritual teaching across traditions speaks of necessary cycles of togetherness and separation, of the sacred rhythm of connection and space for growth. This pattern appears in nature, in the cosmos, and in the most profound spiritual relationships. Just as the ocean must draw back from the shore before returning with renewed power, just as the moon must wane into darkness before emerging again in light, so must soulmates sometimes move apart to gather the momentum that will eventually bring them together in greater harmony and purpose. Trust in this cosmic rhythm and know that it carries both of you toward your highest good. Blessed soul, now I bring you divine confirmation about this farewell and the hidden blessings it contains. The archangels have gathered around your energy field, creating a protective circle of light as you process these revelations. Their presence signifies the cosmic importance of this transition period, not just for your individual growth, but for the collective healing of relationship patterns on Earth. Archangel Michael steps forward first, his sapphire blue light pulsating with protective strength. He wants you to know that this separation is divinely guided and protected. The severing of certain energetic cords between you and your soulmate is happening with surgical precision under his watchful guidance. He is cutting away only the unhealthy attachments, the codependent patterns, and the fear-based connections, while strengthening the pure gold threads of true soul recognition that can never be broken. When you feel most vulnerable in this goodbye, call upon Michael's strength. Visualize his blue light surrounding you, creating a shield that allows you to process your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. He stands guard especially during your sleep, ensuring that the dream communications between you and your soulmate remain clear and uncontaminated by lower vibrations. Archangel Raphael comes forward next, his emerald green healing light flowing directly into your heart chakra. He is actively working to transmute the pain of this goodbye into compassionate wisdom. The uncomfortable sensations you feel in your chest, the tightness, the aching, the waves of sorrow, are actually signs of his healing presence, clearing ancient grief that has been stored in your heart center across lifetimes. Raphael wants you to know that this healing extends beyond your individual experience. As your heart transforms through this process, you become a living conduit for healing energies that affect the collective consciousness. Your willingness to face this pain with awareness creates ripples that help others navigate their own relationship transitions with greater grace and understanding. Archangel Gabriel approaches now, golden light streaming from her presence. As the messenger angel, she oversees the communication between souls during periods of physical separation. She confirms that your prayers, thoughts, and loving intentions are being delivered to your soulmate's higher self, regardless of the conscious communication happening, or not happening, on the human level. Gabriel is also activating your throat chakra, preparing you to eventually speak your truth with both compassion and clarity when the time for reunion arrives. The occasional tightness or unexplained sensations you may feel in your throat area are signs of this energetic upgrading. She encourages you to use this time of separation to find your authentic voice through journaling, speaking your feelings aloud when alone, singing, or any form of self-expression that releases blocked energies. Archangel Chamuel, the angel of divine love, surrounds both you and your soulmate in a rose-pink light that transcends physical distance. This light creates a sacred container around your connection, preserving its essence even as the outer form changes. Chamuel confirms that the love between your souls remains intact within this energetic sanctuary, protected from the effects of human misunderstanding and separation. Chamuel wants you to know that new dimensions of love are awakening within you through this experience, forms of compassion, understanding, and unconditional acceptance that were not accessible to you before this goodbye began to unfold. These expanded capacities for love are the alchemical gold being formed in the crucible of temporary separation. The angelic realm has placed specific numeric confirmations along your path. When you see repeating numbers, particularly 444, 555, and 1111, know that these are direct confirmations that you are being guided and supported, that this goodbye is unfolding according to divine plan. These numbers will appear at moments when you most need reassurance, when doubt or fear threatens to overwhelm your trust in the process. There is another form of confirmation that will come through nature itself. Pay attention to unusual animal encounters, particularly with butterflies, dragonflies, or birds that seem to be trying to get your attention. These are messengers carrying confirmation of your connection across physical boundaries.
Similarly, certain songs will play at precisely the right moment, containing lyrics that speak directly to your situation. These synchronicities are orchestrated by the angels as forms of divine communication. I must reveal to you now the most significant confirmation: the dreams you will share with your soulmate during this separation. Though your conscious minds may be apart, your souls will continue to meet in the dream dimension.
These encounters may not always be remembered clearly upon waking, but they are happening nonetheless. Sometimes you will wake with an inexplicable sense of peace or renewed connection. This is the residue of these soul meetings carrying through to your waking consciousness. To enhance your ability to remember these dream connections, place a clear quartz crystal under your pillow and set the intention before sleep to recall any communication with your soulmate. Keep a journal by your bed and write down whatever fragments you remember immediately upon waking, without censoring or analyzing. Over time, patterns will emerge that confirm the ongoing communication between your souls. The divine wants you to know with absolute certainty, this goodbye is temporary. The separation occurring now is creating the necessary space for a reunion that will transcend what either of you could have created from your previous state of consciousness. Every tear, every moment of longing, every prayer sent into the void, all are being gathered as sacred fuel for the light that will eventually guide you back to each other. This confirmation comes not as empty reassurance, but as cosmic truth witnessed by the angelic realm. They stand as guarantors of this promise, supporting both you and your soulmate as you navigate your individual healing journeys. Trust in their guidance, remain open to their signs, and know that divine timing is unfolding with perfect precision, even when human understanding cannot comprehend the larger pattern. With infinite love, your guardian angel, beloved soul, the time has come for the most profound revelation, a sacred truth that will illuminate this goodbye in its true cosmic significance. What appears as an ending in the human dimension is actually a pivotal initiation in your shared soul journey. This revelation comes directly from the Akashic records, where the complete history and potential future of your soul connection is preserved. I have been granted permission to access these records on your behalf, to lift the veil between dimensions, and show you what lies beyond this temporary separation. What I have seen there has filled me with awe and reverence for the journey you and your soulmate have undertaken across countless lifetimes. The goodbye unfolding now is not a random event, but a precisely orchestrated turning point that was planned by your higher selves before incarnation. Here is the truth that changes everything. Your soulmate is saying goodbye in this dimension to facilitate a quantum leap in consciousness for both of you. This separation is creating an energetic vacuum, a sacred space into which new levels of divine light can pour. Just as a vessel must be emptied before it can be filled with something new, so must the current form of your connection be temporarily emptied to make way for its higher expression. The magnificence of this process is difficult to convey in human language, but I will try to explain what the angels have shown me. Imagine two stars that have been orbiting each other for eons, their gravitational dance keeping them in a fixed pattern. Now imagine that these stars must momentarily move apart to create space for a supernova, an explosion of light that will transform them both into something more luminous, more expansive than before. This is the cosmic equivalent of what is occurring between you now. Your higher selves orchestrated this separation with exquisite precision, choosing this exact moment in your evolutionary journey because both of you have reached the threshold of a major spiritual expansion. The very pain you feel as they pull away is creating fissures in your energetic field, not to damage you, but to create openings through which higher frequencies of divine love can enter. What you may not yet recognize is that this goodbye is actually the beginning of a completely new chapter in your connection, one that transcends the limitations of romantic attachment and evolves into a spiritually activated partnership with purpose beyond personal fulfillment. The angels show me that you and your soulmate have a shared mission on Earth, a joint contribution to the raising of collective consciousness that can only be fulfilled when both of you have undergone this separate initiation. I must tell you something that may be difficult to hear at first. This goodbye is awakening parts of your soul that would have remained dormant had your connection continued in its previous form. There are gifts within you, sacred abilities and wisdom, that can only be accessed through the gateway of this particular loss. Your soulmate intuitively recognized this, and their higher self chose to be the catalyst for this awakening, even knowing the pain it would cause you both on the human level. Look closely at what has begun to stir within you since the first signs of their withdrawal. Have you felt unexpected urges to explore spiritual teachings that never interested you before? Have synchronicities increased around you, guiding you toward new teachers or healing modalities? Are you suddenly drawn to creative expression, to service work, or to spending time in nature? These are not random interests arising to distract you from pain. They are breadcrumbs leading you toward your expanded identity. Your soulmate is experiencing a parallel process, though it may take forms that appear very different from yours. The timing of your eventual reunion depends on both of you embracing these individual journeys of expansion. Like climbers ascending opposite sides of the same mountain, you will meet at the summit only when both have completed the necessary climb. Trying to rush this process or force premature reunion would actually prevent the very transformation that will make true sacred partnership possible. Now, I must reveal the most sacred aspect of this revelation. The goodbye you are experiencing is actually part of an ascension process. Humanity is collectively moving into higher frequencies of consciousness. and soulmate pairs like you and your beloved are at the forefront of this evolution. Your connection is being temporarily reconfigured to accommodate these new energies, like an electrical system that must be rewired to handle a more powerful current. The separation you feel is actually an illusion created by limited human perception. In the higher dimensions, where your souls exist beyond time and space, there is no separation occurring at all. Your energetic bodies remain intertwined, evolving in perfect synchronicity, despite the appearance of distance in the physical realm. The goodbye is happening only at the densest level of reality, while in the subtler dimensions, your connection is actually intensifying. I can see that since the beginning of this goodbye, you have experienced moments of inexplicable joy breaking through the sorrow, sudden bursts of energy, clarity, or peace that seem to come from nowhere. These are not emotional fluctuations, but actual transmissions from your soulmate's higher self to yours, moments when the illusion of separation temporarily dissolves and you glimpse the truth of your eternal connection. The final revelation I am authorized to share is this: the timing of your reunion has already been determined in the higher realms. There is a specific convergence of energies, a cosmic appointment, when your paths will cross again, when the separate journeys will merge into a shared path of unprecedented power and purpose. This divine timing cannot be rushed, but neither can it be delayed once both souls have completed their necessary transformation. Trust in this sacred timeline. Every moment of this goodbye is moving you closer to the reunion that awaits. Every tear shed is transmuting energy. Every moment of loneliness is creating space for self-discovery. Every heart-centered prayer is weaving threads of light that will eventually guide you back to each other. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random in this divine orchestration. Beloved, protected one, having received these profound revelations about the true nature of this goodbye, you now require practical spiritual guidance to navigate this sacred passage with grace and wisdom. The angels have provided specific practices, visualizations, and inner approaches that will both ease your journey and accelerate the necessary transformation. I share these with you now as sacred tools for this transition. First, you must establish a daily practice of energetic sovereignty. Each morning upon waking, visualize yourself surrounded by a sphere of golden light that extends approximately 3 feet in all directions around your physical body. This light represents your energetic boundary, the sacred space of your own spiritual evolution. Set the intention that while your soul remains eternally connected to your soulmate, your daily emotions and thoughts are yours alone to manage and transmute. This practice of energetic sovereignty will prevent you from unconsciously merging with your soulmate's emotional field, taking on their confusion or resistance as your own. It will also help you distinguish between the natural grief of human separation and the transmitted energies that often flow between deeply connected souls. Not all the emotional turbulence you experience during this time belongs to you. Some of it is the echo of their process, reverberating through your shared energetic field. Second, commit to a practice of conscious transmutation of pain. When waves of sorrow arise, and they will, resist the urge to suppress them or distract yourself from their intensity. Instead, place your hands over your heart center and breathe directly into the discomfort, imagining that each inhale brings golden light into the very center of the pain, and each exhale releases transmuted energy as violet flame. Speak to this pain with compassion. I see you. I honor you. I allow you to move through me and be transformed. This practice does more than help you process difficult emotions. It actually accelerates the alchemical process that is occurring within your energetic body. Each wave of pain consciously transmuted becomes fuel for spiritual evolution, raising your vibrational frequency and preparing you for the higher octaves of love that await in reunion. Third, you must work consciously with the dreamscape, as this is the dimension where soul communication continues most directly during physical separation. Before sleep each night, set a clear intention to meet with your soulmate's higher self in the dream state. You might use words such as, I open myself to clear communication with my beloved soul beyond the illusions of separation. May our higher selves connect in love and wisdom as our human forms rest. Keep a dream journal by your bedside, and record even fragments of dreams immediately upon waking, before the rational mind can dismiss or reinterpret them. Look for recurring symbols, landscapes, or experiences that may contain coded messages. Pay particular attention to dreams where you are searching for someone, traveling toward a destination, or undergoing any form of transformation. These often reflect the inner journey of separation and eventual reunion. Fourth, work consciously with the energy centers most affected by this goodbye. The heart chakra, solar plexus, and throat chakra typically require the most attention during soulmate separation. For the heart, place a rose quartz crystal directly over this center during meditation, imagining emerald green light, healing and expanding this energy center. For the solar plexus, use citrine or amber with golden light to strengthen your personal power and process the grief stored in this center. For the throat chakra, blue lace agate or aquamarine with bright blue light will help you maintain clear communication with the divine during this time when human communication with your beloved may be limited. Fifth, establish a regular practice of communicating with your soulmate through soul writing. This is different from ordinary journaling. To begin this practice, create a sacred space, perhaps with candles, soft music, or essential oils that remind you of your connection. Take several deep breaths to center yourself, then place your pen on paper and write directly to your beloved's soul, bypassing the limitations of physical communication. Express everything without censorship: your love, your confusion, your anger, your hopes. Then, without thinking or planning, allow their soul to communicate back through your hand. Simply begin a new paragraph with, "My beloved soul, I hear you," and let the words flow without judgment or analysis. This practice creates a direct channel of communication between your higher selves that transcends the human experience of goodbye. Sixth, commit to periods of complete stillness. The divine speaks most clearly in silence, yet modern life rarely creates space for this profound quiet. Set aside at least 20 minutes daily for meditation without guided recordings, mantras, or specific focus, simply being present with what is. In this emptiness, the higher wisdom about your connection can reach you directly, unfiltered by mental constructs or emotional patterns. It is in these moments of pure presence that the illusion of separation often dissolves completely, allowing you to experience the truth that exists beyond the human drama of goodbye. Many who practice this consistently report spontaneous experiences of oneness with their beloved despite physical distance, a merging of consciousness that confirms the eternal nature of their connection. Seventh, pay careful attention to synchronicities and signs that confirm your ongoing soul connection. These will often appear in patterns of 3, the same number, animal, word, or symbol appearing 3 times in close succession. These are not coincidences but cosmic winks, reassurances that the invisible threads between you remain intact across any apparent distance. Create a dedicated space in your phone or journal to record these synchronicities. Over time, patterns will emerge that reveal the precise language through which the divine speaks to you about this connection. This documented history of signs will serve as an anchor of faith during moments when human doubt threatens to overwhelm spiritual knowing. Eighth, practice radical self-love as spiritual discipline. This separation is creating space for you to develop a more sacred relationship with yourself, a prerequisite for the higher form of partnership that awaits. Treat your body as the temple of your soul through mindful nourishment, rest, and movement. Speak to yourself with the tenderness you would offer a beloved child. Celebrate your small victories and honor your vulnerabilities with equal compassion. This practice of self-love is not narcissistic indulgence, but spiritual necessity. It establishes the template for how you will receive love when reunion occurs. The depth to which you can love yourself during this separation directly correlates to the depth of love you will be able to both give and receive when the circle of your connection closes again. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, cultivate absolute trust in divine timing. Human consciousness wants certainty, timelines, and guarantees, but soul evolution follows cosmic rhythms that transcend these limited frameworks. Release the need to know when or how reunion will occur. Instead, focus completely on becoming the most awakened version of yourself. Not to deserve love's return, but because this is the very purpose of the separation. Trust that the same divine intelligence that orchestrates the perfect unfurling of flowers, the precise migration of birds across continents,
and the immaculate choreography of planets around the sun is orchestrating your journey of separation and reunion with equal perfection. Every moment of this goodbye is a sacred thread in the larger tapestry of your shared destiny. Beloved soul, we have traveled together through the profound mystery of this goodbye, illuminating its hidden purpose and sacred potential. You now stand at a powerful threshold of choice. While you cannot control the human decisions of your soulmate or force the timing of reunion, you have complete sovereignty over how you navigate this passage. The path you choose now will determine not only your individual evolution, but the quality of connection possible when divine timing brings you full circle. I invite you now to make a sacred commitment to yourself and to the highest potential of this connection. Will you choose to view this goodbye not as punishment or failure, but as purposeful initiation? Will you embrace the solitude not as abandonment, but as sacred space for unprecedented growth? Will you trust in the greater wisdom of cosmic timing, even when human understanding falls short? This is not a theoretical question, but an active choice that must be made again and again as you move through this experience. On difficult days when grief feels overwhelming, when doubt clouds your spiritual vision, when the human need for certainty demands immediate answers, you will need to consciously renew this commitment to trust in the divine orchestration of your connection. Remember that you are never truly alone in this journey. The angelic realm surrounds you with unprecedented support during this transitional phase. Your guardian angels have been assigned additional helpers specifically to guide you through this separation. They can only assist to the extent that you invite their participation, however. Speak to them directly, ask for specific signs of reassurance, and remain receptive to their subtle communications. In the physical realm, remember that certain people have been divinely positioned along your path to offer support during this time. Some may be long-standing friends or family members, whose loving presence takes on new significance now. Others may be newcomers who enter your life precisely because they carry specific wisdom or energy you need for this phase of your journey. Be discerning, but open, recognizing that earthly angels often appear in unexpected disguises. I must also tell you that your experience of this separation holds significance beyond your personal journey. As you transmute pain into wisdom, as you choose trust over fear, as you maintain soul connection across physical distance, you contribute to the healing of the collective field. Many others walking similar paths will be energetically supported by your choice to navigate this experience with consciousness and grace. Now I must speak directly about the action steps that will best support your journey through this goodbye and prepare the ground for eventual reunion. First, create a sacred ritual of release to honor the completion of the previous chapter of your connection. This need not be elaborate, but it should include elements of the 4 directions, perhaps a candle for fire, a bowl of water, a feather for air, and a crystal or stone for earth. Speak aloud your gratitude for what has been, acknowledge the pain of what appears to be ending, and affirm your trust in what is yet to emerge. Release with love, without resentment or conditions. Second, commit to a 40-day period of intentional self-discovery. Ancient wisdom across traditions recognizes this time frame as spiritually significant for transformation. For these 40 days, establish a consistent spiritual practice that includes elements of silence, movement, creative expression, and service to others. This balanced approach ensures integration of the emerging energies across all levels of your being: spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. Third, create a vision board or sacred document that represents not the specific outcome of reunion, but the qualities of being you are developing through this separation. Include images, words, or symbols that represent emotional freedom, spiritual sovereignty, authentic self-expression, and unbounded capacity to give and receive love. Focus on becoming rather than obtaining, trusting that the external will align with the internal in divine timing. Fourth, identify the specific fears that this goodbye has activated within you, and commit to addressing each one as an opportunity for healing rather than a confirmation of unworthiness. Write these fears in a journal, speak them aloud to a trusted friend or counselor, or symbolically release them through art or movement. Bringing these shadows to consciousness prevents them from unconsciously directing your journey. Fifth, reach out to support others who may be experiencing similar separations. As you share the wisdom you are gathering through your own experience, it becomes more deeply integrated within you. This is not about offering shallow reassurance,
but about authentic sharing of both the challenges and unexpected gifts of this journey. In supporting others, you strengthen your own capacity to trust in divine unfolding. Sixth, document your journey through this goodbye, with particular attention to moments of unexpected joy, spontaneous insight, or inexplicable peace that arise alongside the natural grief. These moments are not random emotional fluctuations, but specific communications from your higher self, confirming that beneath the human experience of loss, a profound spiritual expansion is occurring. Seventh, when the time feels right, create a specific energetic invitation for reunion that honors divine timing rather than human impatience. This might be a letter written to your beloved and ceremonially burned to release its essence to the universe, or a mandala created with natural materials and offered to the elements, or a song or poem that captures the essence of what you are calling forth. Make this creation an expression of gratitude rather than need, of invitation rather than demand. Beloved soul, as we conclude this sacred communication, I want you to know that you were specifically chosen for this experience, not because you need to learn painful lessons, but because your soul is ready for an extraordinary expansion. This goodbye is not a detour on your path, but the path itself, a critical passage leading to a level of sacred partnership that few on earth are prepared to embody. The divine sees your courage in facing this separation with awareness. Every tear is counted, every moment of trust noticed, every choice to love despite uncertainty honored. Nothing is wasted in this sacred economy. All is being gathered and transmuted into the light that will illuminate the path of reunion, when divine timing aligns all necessary elements. Trust in what you cannot yet see, but can already feel, awakening within you. The very fact that you have received this message confirms that you are ready for this initiation, capable of the transformation it requires, and destined for the sacred reunion it ultimately promises. The goodbye unfolding now is but a breath between words in the eternal conversation between your souls, a pause pregnant with unlimited potential for what is yet to be spoken. I invite you now to place your hand on your heart and feel the truth vibrating there, beyond thought, beyond emotion, beyond the human story of separation. Feel the eternal presence of love that transcends all apparent endings. Feel the golden thread that connects your soul to your beloveds across all dimensions. Feel the absolute perfection of this journey, with all its joy and sorrow, all its questions and revelations, all its human pain and spiritual purpose. This is not goodbye. This is transformation. This is preparation. This is the sacred turning that precedes reunion. This is love evolving beyond what either of you have previously known or imagined possible. Trust in this process. Trust in divine timing. Trust in the love that never leaves, never ends, never forgets the path home. Dear soul, if this video was meaningful to you, leave a thanks below this video as a gesture of gratitude for this revelation. This strengthens us to keep sharing messages of connection and faith. And if you have received value from this divine message today, please support our channel by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing with others who might be experiencing similar soul connections. Your engagement helps these sacred messages reach those who need them most. Consider becoming a member of our spiritual family for exclusive content and personal guidance on your spiritual journey. Leave a comment below sharing your experience with soulmate separation and how this message has touched your heart. With infinite love, your guardian angel.